Hey guys.
Hi guys.
How you doing?
Welcome back.
Welcome back to another glamorous episode. This episode is about why you should wait until marriage and like what to do if you didn't.
Cause let's be real, we not perfect, right?
Nope.
And I think a lot of times we hear wait till marriage, which is great. You should. However, some of us do not.
Yes. But before we get into that, I'm gonna say a nice little kind of little prayer.
Yes, you are. Yes,
I believe it's my turn.
Pray. Yeah, come on in here.
Bow your head, close your eyes.
Welcome to the Lord.
Yes. Feel the Lord in your spirit. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for allowing me and Naomi to wake up another day. You did not have to do that, but you did that for us, and I thank you. Thank you for the audience that we have grown to have. This is all you. I cannot take any credit for that. That's all you bid out. I pray that this is a glorious episode. I pray that you are with us and you guide our tongues as we speak on your name today. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. My dude.
What, bro?
I am very proud of you. That was a good one. Come on. Come on here. Yeah, don't leave that hanging. Oh.
You are so silly.
That just, it made my inner heart smile. I was over here.
Yes, Jesus.
Yes. Ooh.
You are so funny.
I'm so serious. That's the sad part. I learned yesterday, everybody kept telling me, stop inviting her places. I be having fun, bro.
You really do.
Bro, that's the problem. That's why people can't be around.
Yeah.
We went to an event yesterday. It was hilarious. I had so much fun. I had a ball.
It was okay. We went to a friend's husband's birthday party, and they said grace before they they said grace before we ate. You know what I'm saying?
As we should, bless the Lord.
Now it was a lengthy grace. It was a Southern Baptist grace.
It was giving real Kojic Pentecost.
Yeah.
But I was with it. The Lord was blessed. But bro.
But see, I done got hip to praying in group prayers with Naomi. I know you don't look at her. Don't stand beside her because you gonna hear her chuckle and it's
everybody's laughing because now I'm. That's what happened yesterday. I was like,
yep. And I was about to go over there to you because I didn't want to hold no strangers' hands. But
for real though.
But I was like, nah, I can't even. I'm gonna stay right here where I'm at.
Cause I was doing good up until the middle.
I cannot control my laughter with you,
bro. I was doing good till the middle. And I was like, no, focus. Yeah, please don't. I tell people all the time, in serious moments, please don't look at me. Because if I find something funny, I'm gonna hold it on the inside, but I'm gonna chuckle a little bit. Safe to say, don't sit beside Naomi in serious moments because I might chuckle.
Yeah,
because I laugh a lot.
So back to the freaking topic here.
Sorry, guys.
Oh yes, I wanted to say about that. When it comes to waiting until marriage, I feel like a lot of people are told to wait, but they're not told why.
Why to wait?
Because I was told to wait. But there was really no reason why.
It was just
unless it was like, oh, you can get STDs or you can get pregnant.
But I feel like some people are like, is pregnancy really that much of a reason for me not to?
I mean, I guess it depends on what age you are and your circumstance. But to me,
I get it. But I guess for some people, that's not enough of a why. Like you said, growing up, you're taught, don't have sex till you're married. And sometimes it's not even a religious thing. Some people who, I know friends who aren't religious, whose parents told them, don't have sex until you're married. But it was a societal thing. Yeah. It wasn't, at least it wasn't our age group. Yeah. Things have changed differently since then.
Yeah. I just wish that I was told to wait, but I wasn't told why. But I wish that I was told the spiritual religious reason why. Yeah. Because nobody really explained that to Keyah. So.
I mean, it was explained to me. That did not stop my choice. But I don't know. I think that's also how we talk about the importance of trying to stay steadfast in certain things. Because don't get me wrong, it was taught to me about soul ties and what sex does and all that stuff on a surface level. But God had to talk to me on a deeper level, after I'd already done it. But because I don't know, to me it was okay, I had the mentality of, okay, you told me to wait till marriage. I'm married to this person anyway.
Yeah.
And so it was like, especially with the person that like I was with, we had every intention on getting married. So it was like, why am I waiting to get married if I already know that I'm going to marry this person? Like, it's already planned.
Yeah.
If I'm going to marry this person, why am I waiting? If I'm just going to, like,
Yeah.
then it makes sense to me.
Yeah. Dang, that's interesting. And if you've never listened to any of our episodes before, Naomi grew up in the church. I grew up-ish in the church, but I didn't really have like a relationship with God. So where was I going with that? I just felt like, because I didn't have a relationship with God, I didn't necessarily care for the religious reason as to why we should wait. I just knew that, well, we went to the same high school. You know, them boys wasn't worth a diddly crap.
Worth a diddly crap. My Lord.
I just knew I wasn't going to give it up to one of y'all.
Because
yeah. My thing with that was I just wanted to be with someone who I was going to be with for a long time.
Right.
Now, luckily, the Lord granted me that grace, and that did occur. However, I still wish that,
maybe not.
Maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah. I feel that same way, because, like, I was dating one of the boys at our high school.
Oh,
and we dated, like, he wasn't one of the bad ones. He was actually pretty good at the time. Anyway.
Yeah.
But like we dated well beyond high school. Like we started dating in high school and dated well beyond. So it was like, I mean, again, we already had plans to like, we're gonna marry this person anyway. Like it was already like things that we already discussed, talked about. So like, I guess like the religious reason like was like in the back of my head that it was like, I mean, you're supposed to wait because God said to wait till you're married. In my head, I was like, but I'm gonna marry him, so is it really that bad? I'm gonna marry him anyway. And like, and not one of them like, oh, I'm gonna marry that man. No, I was gonna marry that man. Like it was already like
established.
It spoke about between us that the marriage was happening. So it wasn't like one of those, oh well, maybe we're gonna get married, but not. No, we were very much planning. So in my head, it didn't make sense to like, why wait?
Yeah.
And I know that we're about to like, that's crazy. Granted, I still wished that maybe I would have waited.
At the end of the day, you got to be obedient.
Got to be obedient. We talked about this so many times. It's like when we talk, I guess we should talk about why I just wait, right?
Okay.
So when I talked to God later on about this whole thing, and me and that person were no longer having sex and we're doing anything, we're just like our own spaces officially, because
like done.
Yeah, because even after we broke up, we were kind of like screwing around with each other for like a year or so.
Fair enough.
Because ain't no getting no new bodies.
Yeah, I mean,
not getting a new body.
Oh my God. Anyway.
But when I was talking to God about it, and I was like, okay, like my heart is hurt. I see why. And he was like, do you though? And I was like, I don't know. I think my heart is hurt. Is that what this is? And God was talking about the function of sex and how when he created sex is like the last thing you do to become one before God. Like to like consummating your marriage, like coming together.
Like that was marriage way back when, because there wasn't no like paperwork and all that.
It was like y'all did it.
Y'all married.
Because the whole point of it is for your souls to be intertwined, making a soul tie. Like I think whenever we talk about soul ties, we talk about them like a negative connotation, but like they're not negative.
No, they're not supposed to be.
They're not supposed to be. Like if you're making a soul tie with your husband, you're supposed to. That's your husband. But that's why God also has like he talks about in the confines of marriage, because even like for example, what I said, like I was gonna marry that man. We ended up not getting married. Or for some people who do end up getting married, don't end up lasting. Your soul is still tied to this person. Like the function of sex doesn't change just because you did it outside of the order that it's supposed to go in.
Right.
Like a function is a function. It's going to happen. Like I think the example I gave last night, I have a permanent marker. Its job is to write. If I write it on paper and throw it away, it did its job. If I write it on a wall and it doesn't go away, it did its job. Just because I didn't use it for the function that it was intended for doesn't mean that it's not going to do what it's supposed to do.
Right.
Same thing with sex. You're having sex with this person after your marriage because it makes you one before God. It intertwines your souls, right? Just because you do it in a different order, meaning just because you didn't do it in marriage, your souls are still intertwined. So you guys break up, you guys whatever, your physical body is separated. Your souls are still intertwined. And that's one of the things that we can't break that because it's a spiritual thing. Our job is to do the natural, God does the super.
Right.
Meaning God has to break that soul tie. And some people, you got to ask him to too. He not going to just, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like you have to come, God, please. Because there are some people, you wonder why you so crazy, baby. Because you done slept with him, her, him, whoever you sleeping with. And they also got bodies attached to them. And they also got souls attached to them. And so now everybody intertwined with everybody. And y'all wonder why you crazy. Wonder why you losing your mind. But no, for real, like, when God talked to me about that and the function of sex and just knowing, like, it was a lot that God told me because, well, after me and that man broke up, it was still, like, one of the things where it was like, dang, like, my heart was drawn. And I didn't understand it. And I remember talking to one of my friends at church, and I was like, I don't get it. We're not together. We haven't slept together. I don't know how long. What is going on? And she was like, your soul's intertwined. It's a soul tie. And I was like, well, get rid of it. And she was like, I can't. Well, somebody
got to.
She was like, God has to do it. And he did. He did break the soul tie. It was great. And I could tell when I was freed. Can't talk about him. But me, I felt free. And like, I didn't physically feel like, oh man, I like worried about that person, playing in the back of my head, this person. I don't know. Just waiting is such a big thing. And I talk to some of the young girls in my church about that. Yeah. But like, for real, and I also think that just because you didn't wait, let's preface this. Yeah. God doesn't love you any less. Oh yeah. He doesn't care for you any less just because you didn't wait. Because like you said, some people weren't brought up in church and so they didn't wait. Some people are brought up in church, but let's be real, sometimes temptation is really hard. Like, for sure. I was brought up in church. I knew on surface level why I shouldn't do it. Yeah. But like in that moment, out the window. I'm gonna be so honest. In that moment, baby, all of that was out the window. I'm trying to figure out what we finna get doing. Right. Because I mean, before like in that moment we talk about like staying fast, it's also why boundaries are so important. Oh yeah. Because had a boundary been set of like, hey, I'm not trying to do this, so there are certain things that I'm just not gonna do with you, then it's different. Like, we talked about this before. I'm not a physical touch person. He very much was a physical touch person. So for me, it was no big deal for me to lay up under him and not feel like we have to do something. That wasn't my thing. Right. Him, however, if my pinky was touching him, he was like, oh, you trying to get free. And I'm like, no, I'm not. But I guess about the importance of boundaries though, because I knew on his part, physical touch was something that like if we're trying like not to do, because at one point we did decide we were gonna like when we like rekindled later on, we decided okay, we're not gonna have sex, we're gonna do this right, we're still not together, so you know, yeah. But even then, it was like certain boundaries that we had. Like I knew any type of like me touching him too long was gonna end up as somebody trying to get some. Yeah. Vice versa. I'm an intimacy person, not necessarily a sex person. Like a physical touch person. I like intimate moments.
So I think the point of what you're saying is basically like, well, when you are dating to like get to know, boundaries. Yes, and like understand your person, who you with. Yes, understand because just like you were saying how like one touch could be like, oh, you wanna, and you're like, no, I just want to be like near you. I just want to
be near you. Got like space between us.
You know. Oh, and something else I wanted to touch on. A lot of people think that like almost like dating just by itself is like a sin or something. Like you can't like hang out, like you can't cuddle.
I don't know where that comes from.
And like I think even kissing is not necessarily a sin, but the thing is you don't want to activate some sort of temptation for yourself. That's
part of following the convictions. Because like if you know, and it's for anybody, not just girls, not just boys. If you know that like you kissing up on this person a certain kind of way is gonna make you want to go there, then maybe you shouldn't do that. Like a little peck might be fine for you. Some people you can handle watching a movie cuddled up with each other, and that's fine. Nobody feels any kind of way. Right. But if you know you laid up on this person laid up on you, and that makes y'all want to go into that moment. Maybe
we should like, hey, we shouldn't do this.
Instead of watching the movie up on each other, hey, let me hold your hand from over here. Let me sit on this side. That's not to say that like dating is this bad thing. Because I feel like that, like you said, that's such a stigma, especially in certain communities where it's like, if you're dating, you're having sex.
No. How am I supposed to meet my husband if I don't date?
Okay, because Jesus already told me he's not going to drop him off front porch.
And he not.
I prayed about it. He won't do that. So it's like, you have to go out and date and it's okay to like go out and date. Yeah. And also for the man perspective, I have a lot of friends who are guys who grew up in church. It was like, it's such a pressure on dudes. Because it's like when you go out and it's like, hey man, like what you got, how many you done? And he's like, like none. I'm trying to wait, man. Like trying to wait for what? And I'm like, me and my friends have had that conversation, like the pressure between girls and boys and the differences. Yeah. And how sometimes you find a good core group that like really is like, I support you. And like, that's good for you, bro. And sometimes you don't, especially like in the middle school, high school group when it becomes a thing. Like sex these days is so like prevalently talked about. Like we were kind of taught, wait till marriage. These day and age, it's kind of like sex is almost the natural next step after I love you. And it's like a lot of people don't see it as like a big deal anymore. Right. Still a big deal. Still
Indeed.
a very big deal.
No, it's very much a big deal.
It's still a very big deal.
Yeah.
And I know it might ruffle a few feathers. But
and everybody's so different because I guess everybody doesn't have this like internal like I feel so bad about it.
Yeah, I used to get real.
I felt bad about it, but like I said, I mean, like I told you in private. I told Naomi this in private. I was just like, I would feel guilty about it, but like I said, I didn't grow up in the church, so I didn't know that this was God convicting me, saying, hey, you probably shouldn't do that, and I'm just like, I feel a little bad. I don't know why though. Do you feel bad, bro? Nah. Okay, let's keep going. Well, okay.
But no, for real though, because like I said, I grew up in church. I knew. It's like, and at first I didn't feel many convictions, like, or that I was just so stupidly in love. I ain't hear this man. We talked about idols. Go back and watch that episode. Okay. But it got to a point where like we would do it, and I'd just be like, when I say my chest will feel so heavy, I'd just be like, okay, I don't like this. And I'm like, and like you said, I would ask him, like, hey, do you like feel some kind of way like after we do this? Does this like bother you at all? He's like, well, nah, it don't really bother me, but if it's bothering you, and I'm like, well, no, I want to stop, but I do kind of feel bad. So maybe we should like slow up. And God finally was like, girl,
you know what this is.
And God told me, God was like, bro, you know what this is. Stop playing with me. And I was like, okay, God, okay. And he was like, all right. He's all right. You keep playing. He told me, he was like, you continue to do this and you're not going to reach what I've called for you. And I said, whoa.
That's scary.
Well, hey, after this time, we not doing it no more.
I like how you said after this time.
Well, we were already there. Like, God had told me that, like, literally after we had done it. And I was like, when I say I felt so guilty for like 3 days. Dang. I was just like, bro, and like, I couldn't shake it. Because it wasn't like an outward dirty. I felt inward dirty. Yeah. And I was like, I can't wash my insides. Like, I need to get it away. I like finally I was like, okay, God, okay, you win, okay, I'm not gonna do it no more, Like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
it's crazy how some people just don't have that, like, feeling. Some people think that sex is just like nothing, or it's just like a casual thing, like just like dating. I'm like,
yeah, you need therapy. Because I just feel like such an intimate moment is truly made for someone special. Like we talked about a couple days ago, our body being an accursed thing. Not accursed, accursed. Meaning an accursed thing is something set aside by God for God. So same thing with our bodies. Like when you look back at the temples, the temple that was like, big temple, back when Jesus was roaming the earth. Well, physically anyway. When Jesus was on the earth, only those anointed by God could go inside the temple. A lot of people could be on the outside. You worship yourself on the outside, and you may have like the first layer on the inside. But the innermost part of the temple, like sanctuary, people go to worship, reverence, only those anointed by God was allowed to go in. If you went in and you weren't supposed to, you destroyed, like dunsies. Same thing with our bodies, though. We're accursed things. We're set aside by God for God. Yep. Meaning those who God, graces, or those who he selects for us to be with our body is your husband, is your wife. Yep. And that way, when you're not going in, you're not being destroyed because God has given him his mark. God has given him like that permission, that stature of like, I've chosen you for this. This is your person. So when you go in, it's not something that you have to feel guilty about, because that's also a big thing when it comes to like purity culture. When it's like they tell kids so long, don't do it. Right. Then they get married and they're like, but I feel gross because you guys told me so long not to do it, and now you're telling me to do it with this man that I don't even ever did nothing. I don't even know this man. But like learning that like sex is a beautiful thing. I think we should talk about it. I think people always talk about how whenever we talk about it from like a godly perspective, always like a negative connotation. Yeah. But like, no, it's supposed to be this great, magnificent thing. It's great. It's supposed to feel good. It's supposed to be great. It's supposed to feel good. It's supposed to be great. It's supposed to do like what it's supposed to do. Yeah. Like it's fun. Like we're supposed to enjoy it. The function of sex is to have kids. However, God didn't have to give us all the nerve endings that he gave us in order for us to have kids. Right. It's a pleasure thing. It's supposed to be something that we enjoy. So I feel like whenever we talk about it such on a negative connotation, you get up and you get married and you're like, ooh, I know I'm supposed to enjoy this, but I just feel so weird about it. So I feel like talking about sex as an open concept, right? Like talking about, yes, you should wait till marriage. There's a reason why God ordains it so. Yep. And he'll bless that even through that. He'll bless your marriage and bless your sex life even through that because you waited and did what he was supposed to do, right? But it's not to say this is terrible and it's scary thing either.
Right.
Like, when, because a lot of people, it's hard. Like, when you're especially in a relationship growing up, it's almost like you said, like I said earlier, when you love somebody, it's almost like the natural next step. To be like, I love you. What can I give you even more than what I tell you I love you that my body wants to do, your body wants to do?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So what would your advice be to, like, I guess a newly celibate person?
Sorry. I did not mean to have it sound like that. My bad. Oh, being that I am also celibate now. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. She's just like, well, gotta go there. If I was to give advice to someone who is newly on the celibacy journey or considering the celibacy journey, it is hard in the beginning. I'm just go ahead and tell you. It is difficult in the beginning because your body's become accustomed to it. Like, it's kind of like opening Pandora's box. Once it's open, you can't close it back. Same thing with sex. Like, once you have sex, you can't like unhave sex. So, you know, kind of here. But it'll be difficult in the beginning, but really find like a strong, good friend, accountability partner. Like, I have an accountability partner that, like, when I fall into like those feelings, because like I said, it doesn't go anywhere. It gets easier the longer that you go. It's been a while now, and it's a lot easier now. And it's like, when I fall into those feelings, it's like, okay, where can I run to in the Bible? Or I'm going to go talk to my friend, or I'm going to find something to distract me. Because that's, in the beginning, I had to. Because it was hard. Like, when I first started the celibacy journey, I folded a few times. Because it was like, I want to be celibate. I want to do what's right. And I'm going to do what's right, God, I am. But it's like, man, this feeling is really strong. Like, I woke up and it was like this. And I'm like, man, I really should handle this. But learning, for one, that there is a reason as to why you're choosing to be celibate. God will continue to bless you in your celibacy journey because you're choosing to do what's right. Find a good passage in the Bible that talks about marriage, and talks about sex, and talks about the importance of sex and all that stuff. But seriously, though, find like a group of friends who are going to be a good accountability partner for you. Find someone, like a safe person, a trust person, whatever, that you can come talk to about those feelings and those emotions. Like, hey, feeling like this today. I'm not trying to fall into temptation. Or find something that's going to distract you. Like, for me, it's going outside, going to find something in the nature. Like, I love water, so I'll go and drive and sit by water. Or I'll go just outside and walk around, or go to Michael's. Something that's going to keep my attention.
You gotta, like, find a new hobby.
Yes, find a new hobby. Find something to put yourself into. On that time where you're focusing and your body feels like that, pour into something somewhere else. Whether that's you pouring into your word with God, digging into God real quick, taking a good little looky look, distracting yourself, or going to find a friend, talk on the phone with somebody. Because I feel like it's really easy. Because like, after you have, like, once you have sex, it's like, okay, even if you're not physically having sex, and it turns into like, I can fix this by myself. I don't necessarily need, someone else to.
That is indeed still a
sin. That is
sin.
Also still sin.
That is, sorry, guys.
I'm still full of a few feathers. So.
Sorry to be very bad news. But it's definitely, it's in the Bible somewhere. I mean, I can find it for you. But
that was a struggle for me in the beginning. Because it was like, okay, I'm celibate. Okay, I'm not having like sex with somebody.
Right.
But if it's just me, and God was like, still no. So it was like, okay, not really gotta find something else to do. But like, I found a new hobby. I found something to do. I got into crocheting briefly. Turns out I cannot crochet a straight line.
But you try.
And I make a mean scarf.
You do.
I can make a really good scarf.
Yes. For those who are watching us via YouTube, I'm gonna pop the scriptures on the screen. But if you're watching on our only, or listening on our audio only platforms, here's a few scriptures for you. 1 Corinthians 6, chapter 6, verses 18 through 20, Matthew chapter 5, verses 27 through 30, and 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verses 3 through 5.
Take a look at those. They're all very helpful when it comes like to just trying to not fall into like that sexual sin. Because again, starting your celibacy journey, it's going to be rough in the beginning, and that's okay. Find a solid friend, a safe person, whoever that is, that you can trust with this kind of thing. Because obviously you can't just trust everybody with your sex life or tell them about your things. But Find a safe person that you trust. Talk to them about it. Talk to God about it. God wants to hear about it. He already knows.
Yeah, might as well talk to him.
He already knows. Like, I'm very big on, like, God, I'm feeling like this right now, and I'm trying not to fall short. Maybe I need to get out the house. Maybe I need to do something, or I need to think about something else. But the longer you get in your celibacy journey, the longer that you're like, it's almost like in your mind, I am not gonna mess this up. I have made it this far.
Yes, it's like a high score with yourself.
Yeah, it's like a high score.
I can make it another day. I can make it another day.
Yeah, like when I first started, I had a thing on my phone. It was a calendar that counted up the days, and of course, it didn't say what I was counted up for, but it was just an app on my phone that like counted the days. And something about looking at them days every day was like, I gotta keep going. If I made it this far, I gotta get this far. If I made it this far, I gotta get this far. I made it 100 days, I can make it too. And it started as little victories. I made it 7 days. Ooh, I do not want to have to restart this timer.
Right.
Because then you like, dang. After that, like learning, like do techniques like that. Find a timer on your phone that helps you. Because that's what helped me in the beginning. Because I was like, okay, when I just thought about it, I was like, well, I mean, if I messed it up, but like physically having to go to my phone and restarting progress that I already made, that made me be like, okay, no, because I can't restart this because I've worked so hard. It's so long. God has done so good. And the longer that you get, the easier it gets. Like when you feel those feelings, it's like, okay, I feel that. Let me go find something else to do.
Right.
You don't even like second guess it as much anymore. Because like sometimes if you sit long enough in that feeling, even if you're trying to fight it, if you sit still long enough in that feeling
without doing anything, look, let me tell you something. You cannot fight it on your own.
No,
you really can't.
You can't.
I've been there, done that. You can't fight it on your own. You have to talk to Jesus.
Find Jesus. Do something.
Yes, like it almost becomes, once you've been at it for a while, it just becomes like an innate thing. Like you know, like, okay, well, I'm gonna head out.
Get up, or because sometimes when you're in like that comfortable space, because like for some people, it's their bed, it's their room. If you're sitting in your bed and you know this is where you comfortable enough to do your thing. Get up out of your bed. Maybe get up. Go sit in a chair. Go sit in your living room. Go sit in another room. Go sit in your car. Just go sit, do whatever.
Yeah.
Just get yourself out of that situation. So you know, if you're sitting outside, you're not gonna do that outside.
Yeah. And it goes away faster than it came. You know what I mean?
It does.
Like it's not,
once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah. It's like
well, that's what I was doing then.
Yep.
But like
so it's easier than y'all think. It's not. It's the hardest thing in the world.
It's not the hardest thing in the world. Like it literally does get easier and easier. And again, it almost feels like you said, you're a by yourself high score. I'm like, man, like I gotta beat myself. I'm already here. I gotta beat it. It's kind of like how I feel like the Bible app thing. The Bible app has streaks. I'm at 1200.
Hey.
And so I know now. I don't care what time of the day it is.
Right.
I'm gonna get on this Bible app and I'm gonna read this scripture today because 1200 days. If I start over.
Upset,
upsetty spaghetti. I'm gonna be hot.
It gets easier, especially when you can see like the fruit of your work.
Yes,
because God is obviously gonna bless you for waiting,
exactly,
for being celibate and doing your best and resisting temptation. But when you like get to actually like see it, like place your eyes on it, it's like, oh no,
you'll be surprised how much more like purposeful you can be and how much more productive you are. Like in those moments, and you start being productive, finding something else to do, doing something else. You would be surprised, like how much more productive you can be, or when this person come around, how much of like, oh, this ain't bothering me, or XYZ or whatever, you know.
I feel like we need a male's perspective. Maybe our next guest should be like,
because I'm trying to think about who from a male perspective would be.
I don't know,
a good like. To be continued.
To be continued on that.
To be continued. Because I do think this is a very important conversation to have. Because it just, like you said, it is such a thing. But to round this off.
Yes.
If, you're struggling to wait or you're trying to wait, stay the good course, buddy. It does get better. And maybe set boundaries if you need to set boundaries with your person, with your partner. Set a boundary. Let them know, hey, I'm really not trying to cross this road. I want God to honor this marriage. I want God to honor the sex life. Like I want God to honor all of these things.
And if your partner ain't feeling it,
then maybe you should walk away. Because there is somebody out here who is going to be okay with waiting. Despite what...
Look, the
social media tries to tell you.
Society will tell you ain't nobody gonna wait for you, honey.
And that is not true. If somebody genuinely loves you and cares about you, they will wait. They will wait.
The devil is a liar.
And same to you, my brother or my sister. If your person is telling you, I want to wait, respect that. Respect that. Respect that for them.
For sure.
Don't try to pressure them into nothing. And like, if you've already done it, that's okay.
That's all right.
We're gonna bring it back. Talk to Jesus about it.
Yep.
Ask for forgiveness.
Yep.
And starting on the celibacy journey, remember that sometimes it's okay to like move up and move your space. If you're feeling tempted, talk to Jesus. Read your Bible. Find a good friend to talk to about this.
For sure.
Switch your surroundings if you need to, because it's possible. And the longer that you go, the easier that it gets. And like you said, it becomes like that inner clock of like, I gotta beat me. I already did it.
Yeah.
I can do it. I'm not gonna fall short. Because low key, once you hit about a certain amount of months, you like, man, I ain't going back.
Yeah.
And it almost changes your mentality of sex, though. It makes you realize just how imperative and important it is. And it's like, I'm not gonna mess that up. I'm not gonna do this again.
Yeah, and it's almost like a redo kind of thing. It's like you know that like whenever you do meet your right person, that moment will still be special because you waited so long.
You waited
however long. It might not be that long of
For
a
some
time.
people, it could be you've been celibate for 3 months to meet your husband or meet your wife, and fun for you.
Facts though.
Does not happen for us.
But anyway, it's fine.
It's fine.
Anyway.
We're.
But anyways, guys, we love you.
We love you. We will part 2 this.
Yes, well, stay strong.
Stay strong, you guys.
It's Keyah Rose.
It's Naomi.
And we'll see you next time.
All right.
Gang, gang.
Bye.